working. I'm currently going to be using something called Restream, and hopefully it works to stream across a couple of platforms. We're going to be testing it today, and if it works well, I'll go ahead and sign up. So currently on Twitch and on YouTube, so we'll see how that works. Let's sign into why does it need to send me a text message? I don't know, but I'll do normal 2FA. Enter the code. Oh, go away, Twitch. Just chatting. Oh, fine. No, I don't want to go.
That gotta go.
Go away. Channel. Okay, so we are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube. No, it's not made for kids. Awesome. So we are live, guys. Welcome to the channel. We're going to be building the LLM engine to allow the LLMs to compete against each other to see which one can make the most money. Betting on or predicting sporting events on Polymarket. So that's the plan. As I say, trying out a new thing today using something called Restream. I don't know if we can grab the chat and stuff on here. We'll have to see how all of this works. Read and reply to. So apparently we should be able to get all the chat here. So hopefully that works. We will see. So yeah, welcome to the channel, guys. Let's kick off the stream. So we're going to be working on just one product today, as I think working on multiple seems to be a bit too confusing. So we're just going to stick with one. Let me just get set up a little bit. A couple of things I need to do. Okay, so that one's fine. That's fine. No. This is dev servers. Okay, that's my other agent. Okay, so let me just resume that session. I think I was doing some changes to the data bias, just updating the dev data to use the models that we actually want to use for the data rather than the ones that it came up with. Yeah, go ahead, commit and push that, please. Cool. So yeah, so I have also deployed it on DigitalOcean. Actually, no, I haven't deployed it yet. I set up infrastructure as code. I haven't deployed it. I've set up the database. I've run the initial migrations. I've got the database access here. I still need to set up the wallets for the production as well. And we still need to actually deploy the application to our pod on DigitalOcean. I think it's run UI, isn't it? History. Can't spell, can I? It's not npm. Maybe it was npm. Yeah, that was it. npm build UI. That's the one we want. Okay, so that should give us the UI back here. Lovely jubbly. So there we go. So yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. As I say, we're trying out Restream today. So let me know if the health of the stream is good or not. Do get involved in the chat. So we're also on Twitch today as well. So we'll see what it looks like, see how it all works. As I say, with all this stuff, I'm still learning and seeing how it all goes. So we're building the engine for the betting and the prediction stuff. Yesterday we made some good progress. We've got a dashboard now. We've got quite a few fixes and stuff in there we're getting close, I think, to being able to actually deploy and make some predictions and stuff. There's a lots of things that we do need to fix, but we can try and tackle those today and get towards the ability to actually run it in production and see what we get, basically. So yeah, so just done a quick change to the models that we're using for prediction stuff to use the latest ones and add some different ones. So in terms of my to-do list, add confidence to bet UI rows. We'll get that going now because that's something that should be fairly easy. So yeah, I've also tried Claude skills as well. So add prediction confidence UI rows. So I was doing a little reading yesterday about Claude skills and kind of asking Claude about how they all work and stuff. So I do have in, if I can open it up, Claude folder here. I've created some global skills, so global implementation, global planning, global research, based off that article that we came up with the other day. And what I want to do now is to have some kind of local overrides per project for that particular skill to say, like, hey, this is the tech stack, these are the architectural decisions we're making, the approaches we want to take in that. And then that way we can use the global skills, but in any project we want, and then we can have the kind of local confidence and local knowledge passed to those skills as well. So what I'm going to do is, I think I've got in here the skill context yet. So what I'll do here is I'll get Claude, as always, to do my work for me, to update the 3 new skill contexts to include all the stuff that we actually need for this project. Can you please update these 3 skill markdown files then to use the first approach and to have all the local context that we need? There is a research markdown file that you can use to understand the architecture and the various approaches that we want to take. So please update the 3 skills to provide the global context that we need. Okay. So with Restream, I think all the stuff comes in here. Hey guys, how's it going? Hey Push, hey Snappy, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. We are building the prediction engine, just trying to work out some nice workflows for Claude. It'd be nice if I could have the chat and stuff on my screen, but I don't think I can do that. I think I keep having to go back to the UI and stuff, so you'll have to bear with me a little bit with the chat. But yeah, welcome. Do get involved in the channel, get involved in the chat and stuff. More than happy to interact and talk to everyone. So I think we did hit 100 subscribers yesterday and then someone unsubscribed. So the irony of having the achievement but not having the numbers is a bit frustrating, but we should get there fairly soon. Okay, so what's happening now is we're doing a planning of just adding some data to the rows on the UI. It should be fairly easy to do for the for Claude. So key decisions, 3 API routes updated, bets, dashboard competitors, confidence shows us null, suppose when no matching prediction exists. Yeah, so basically what happens here is in our features directory, it comes up with a plan and does what it needs to do to work out how to do it. In this case, it's a fairly simple thing of just adding some data from the rows, some joining probably across tables and stuff to get the prediction confidence, and then we can just add that. It should be fairly easy one for it to do. So what I should be able to do is take this plan and run the global implementation skill, pass it that plan, and then it does all it needs to do. And it should then basically look at this global skill here and essentially do everything it needs to do based on this. So this has kind of got stuff around general rules, type checking, fixing stuff, making sure we've got testing and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully it follows that. We will see based on what it does. And then this little tool here is just some Claude status line that tells me where we are in terms of the workflow, basically. Okay. So yeah, hopefully the stream is going well in terms of the latency and stuff. Hopefully it's not too bad. Let's say using a news tool today called Restream, so we'll see how that goes. Okay. So yeah, I should smash through that fairly quickly, I think. Cool. So yeah, I had a few things in my mind as to what I wanted to do last night on this, and I've totally forgotten all of them, which is not great. Okay, so we've got the UI here. We've got particular models, their predictions. We've now got the confidence on there, which is great. Cool. In terms of the bets now, I mean, we don't see any bets yet because we currently haven't made any locally or anything yet. We should just see the fixtures. Oh yes, one thing I wanted to do was actually kind of the flow currently is that when it boots up, it kind of fetches all the fixtures and the matches and all that kind of stuff every time, and on like an hourly basis sort of thing. For the fixtures, we don't need to fetch them that often. We can do it like once a day. The markets, obviously, we need to fetch more often and kind of update to get this kind of data. And obviously, when we're making the bets, we need to check the odds and that kind of stuff. So I do want to separate those things. And then also I want to have the statistics from the API collected in a reasonably regular time. There's some statistics that we only need to collect like once a week, I guess, like the head-to-heads and all those kind of things. They obviously update, only once a game has actually happened. So there's no point fetching all of them that often. And also we want to fetch things like player stats and all that kind of stuff. Again, after matches have happened rather than every time we boot up. So those are things we need to fix there. Cool, so this is just run. It says it's done its thing. So let me get a review going. Okay, so apparently the other thing has done it. So implementation, code style, I mean, these are all totally pointless. Get rid of that because I don't care. Don't care about that. Yeah, some factory functions, never use classes. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that, but that's what it's gone for. Some pattern stuff, testing, path aliases, and var API routes. Refer to for full project overview. Tech stack. Conventions and commands. Yeah, I mean, that's not correct because that's just saying like refer to this other file. Not right. I mean, the stuff that is put out here is kind of, it's kind of okay. It's a bit crappy, really. In terms of the planning stuff, I mean, it's got some okay stuff, but again, I'm not all that impressed with it, really. Okay, well, we'll just go with it and see how it gets on. So what I can do here, let me just clear the context in this one. This can be our review agent. So I don't know whether it's committed those changes. It hasn't. Please commit, but do not push those changes. So yeah, so what we'll do is we commit, and then we get the reviewer to do its review, and then we'll make the fixes of the changes that it needs. And hopefully we can end up with slightly better code than we currently have, because currently the code is just crap. So we'll see. What was the feature directory? I can just get the commit, can't we? I've a bit of confidence. There we go. Hi, Bright EduTT. Welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the stream and join Discord if you haven't done so already. I'll drop a link for the Discord here. So yeah, we're currently building the LLM prediction engine, basically. We've got our UI going. Needs a few changes, but we're kind of getting somewhere. I want to make some changes on the way that some of the flows work in terms of when we fetch the stats, what stats we're actually fetching, and all that kind of stuff. Then I need to do the deployment, create the wallets on production, get it all working and available, and then I can add some funds and we can start seeing what the predictions actually are and stuff, which will be super interesting. So yeah, we'll see how we go. I mean, I don't have any faith in them making any money, but it'll be super interesting to see what they can come up with. Okay. So yeah, first time streaming on Twitch. So we'll see how it goes, see if we get any viewers. I don't even know what category I should be streaming in, to be honest, or how it sets itself up, but we will see. Okay. So yeah, again, just going to be working on one product today. Hopefully it's easy to follow on stream. I've been doing 2 products on stream previously. Whether that was a bit too confusing for people or not, I don't know. Let me know. My only concern is like doing one product is potentially a bit slow because we're often waiting for Claude to do stuff. But awesome, we've hit 100 subscribers. Amazing. Only, what is it now? Like 99,900 to go till we get a little plaque. So long way away. But yeah, it's the first goal of the channel, I guess, to hit 100 subscribers. We need to hit 1,000 next and then 100,000. We're currently at like negative £200, I think, in terms of revenue and stuff. And that's just on like API keys, subscriptions, and all that kind of stuff. So revenue-wise, not doing very well. Okay, yeah, so in terms of other stuff I want to do for the UI, I think it'd be cool to have in here, maybe we can have, do we want to have like logos and stuff? Maybe that's a bit pointless for the teams and stuff. But it would be good to have a thing of the models that we're kind of have competing and their stats and stuff. So this is kind of a global dashboard. I think if we click through, okay, so we do get competitors already actually. So what we've got, P&L, total bets, accuracy, ROI. Okay, so that's probably okay for now. Predictions. So we can see the reasoning as well, like you kind of get some of the idea as to why it's made those decisions. Well, it's not that useful for a human to read, I don't think, actually, but if we look at the local version, I think there's a better yes, label, probability, data. Okay, so we should also add the summary actually, and maybe the sections. So what does it actually look like, the data section? So it's a list, label, probability, content, and then the data. Okay, so we'll get it to add the summary to that as well so that we can see that. Okay, so it's approved the request. Cool, solid implementation. No must-do items for minors. Side mismatch test. Parallelize the sequential queries in bet.ts. I mean, they all seem pretty unrelated to what it's actually changed, but okay. Please check the review file in the features directory and make the requested changes. So yeah, we'll get to make those changes anyway. So yeah, we'll also get to add the summary to that UI, and then we can kick off doing some of the other stuff I need to do before we deploy and actually get stuff going. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed that Claude was able to build this UI in basically one. So pretty good. Claude is down. I think Claude has been down a little bit, yeah. Seems to be working okay for me. So, but I know I have seen posts and stuff saying that it is down, so maybe it's a bit hit and miss. So what's the idea to Avi? So we're basically building a way for the LLMs to predict the outcomes of sporting events. So we're going to be using Polymarket, which is it's like a prediction market that you bet on outcomes of events, basically. It uses cryptocurrency, but that's not like an important aspect of the project, really. But the idea is that basically we can get some statistics and data from an API called, I think it's what's it, API Football. Yeah, this is the one. So you can basically get all the statistics for like the matches, the head-to-heads, the player stats, all that kind of stuff from this API. What we're then going to do is we're going to give those stats to the LLM, to the AI model, and basically say to it, hey, look, based on these statistics, come up with some weightings for what you think is most important and most relevant for predicting the outcome of the event. So it will basically decide which stats it thinks are most important, come up with the weights. We then run those weights through our code. It comes up with a prediction, and then based on that prediction, we make a bet on Polymarket. There's obviously some rules around like the bankroll, the size of the bets, all that kind of stuff that it can do. But that's kind of the general idea. And we're just going to see which LLM can make any money, if we can make any money, or which one probably more likely loses the least amount of money. But we'll see. Yes, of course you can make edits to those files. What's this live about? Like, is he vibe coding LLM prediction idea? Yep. So we are vibe coding the prediction engine code basically. So we've currently got a reasonable structure and setup. It's basically working. One thing I haven't done yet is pass the prompt to the LLMs for production yet. So we still need to do that. But there's a few things that I want to do to just improve the way that it's all going to work to start off with. And then we can start to get it to make some real predictions. So, I mean, technically these are, where is it? In here. Technically these are real predictions based on the LLM that happened locally. So I think actually I did run it locally, didn't I? So, oh no, I've changed it. So, but I think these old ones are from the actual LLM prediction stuff. So we'll see. Okay, check the latest changes and check that they conform to the requested changes in the review. But yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. Please get involved in the chat and stuff. Happy to answer any questions. So yeah, try and restream today. Hopefully the streams are all good. seems to be working quite well, which is good. So yeah, in terms of the statistics and stuff that we currently have for the API, it's not great. I think it just used some like really basic ones. It's called in infrastructure. I don't know why it's called infrastructure because that's not correct. But okay, so that just creates the client. So status map. So some stuff about mapping the fixtures to the markets. Okay, yeah. So we've got like the head-to-heads. I think basically a head-to-head and like the team stats is all we currently get, which is not good because we basically need a lot more data. So like we've got injuries, you've got standings. I guess you can even get like coach statistics. I don't know what they look like, to be honest, on the coach. Parameters. No, it doesn't really seem to have much interesting there. And then also you can get like the player statistics as well, which I think is probably going to be some of the most interesting ones. I assume there's more data in the parameters and stuff. I guess, I don't know. Oh, that's seasons, okay. Profiles, okay, yeah, so you can get statistics here for the players. So again, we probably want to do that because that's probably a useful thing. Same for things like injuries, all that kind of stuff. We definitely need that. I don't know what sideline is. Sideline. Okay. Oh, and interestingly, it has like recommended calls per day, which would be useful. So what we'll basically do is we'll get the LLM to look at this documentation and grab the statistics based off the recommended calls per day and make sure that we're getting all the statistics that we need. And this API also actually does its own predictions as well. So what we can also add this in as like a competitor. We won't put any bets on it based on that, but we can use it as kind of like a benchmark, as I would assume that they've got a reasonable ability to do some predictions. Okay, please go ahead, commit, and push those changes. Okay. Yeah, and so like other things we've built, so on stream we built Talkie Texty, which is a little parrot here, which is just kind of a running local models to do text to speech, which is what I use to do the prompting now. 2 days is type nowadays in the world of AI. This here is like a tool we built for Claude Code, just using a status line to help me do like planning and stuff, and kind of keep a better workflow than we currently have of me just kind of prompting and not being particularly good with the structure. These are skills we've built as well. So we've got some prompts in Claude to hopefully improve our workflow and get better results, basically. Okay, so what we want to do, please look at the API documentation for the football stats, and based on the recommended calls and all the potential endpoints, can we understand what would be useful to have as statistics stored in our application and what would be useful to pass to the LLMs for the LLMs to make their predictions? So basically what this is going to do now is it's going to do some, oh, actually I probably didn't want research, did I? That's probably too, research is a bit too in depth, I think. Oh, I killed Claude. Sorry, Claude. I actually want planning, don't I? There we go, yeah. So yeah, so this should basically look at those API documentations now and come up with a plan and list of statistics and stuff that we probably want. So as I say, currently it only has like really basic stats, which obviously it can't really do much with. So we want to give it as much information as possible to, in theory, allow it to work out what to do in terms of the bet and the weighting and stuff. So yeah, hello, welcome to the channel from India. Happy to have you here. And thank you for the 100 subscribers. Absolutely awesome. Good to hit that number. Someone did unsubscribe, so we had the achievement, and then it went back down to 99 subscribers. But we're back up to 100 now, so on to 1,000 next. That's the next goal. Maybe we should also vibe code a little thing of goals and that kind of stuff, so that we can have some kind of goals of subscribers, goals of revenue, and all that kind of stuff. So many things we want to build, so few Claude credits. That's the problem nowadays. So this should go ahead and do some research for us. I don't know where we are in terms of the usage of Claude. So 42% for the week. So I've got what, 3 days plus today. And then current session usage. It's actually quite a lot already, actually. The resets in an hour though, that's fine. Cool, but we can probably drop back to Sonnet rather than using Opus if we need to. So other things I need to do. So yeah, some other things I did as well off stream was I've added something called infrastructure as code. So if you're not familiar, basically it's using a tool called Pulmony. I don't know how you say this, how you pronounce it or not. But basically what this will allow us to do is, probably shouldn't show that. I don't know where the code is actually for that. Oh, index here. It basically allows us to do like provisioning of servers and databases and all that kind of stuff via code rather than doing it all manually. So I've run this and it's provisioned a DigitalOcean droplet, which we will deploy the application on. We deploy it via the CI in GitHub. So there'll be there's a deploy workflow. I've not run it yet. I have run migrations actually. I do need to run those again actually. Did we commit those changes? Yeah, okay. So what we can do is we can run the migrations again. And then what we should see is on the live database, which is this production one here, we should see the competitors update from like the older models to the newer models, which will be good. I don't get why it wants to go to that. It shouldn't really care about other sources. Like, in fact, why is it looking? What is this? Obviously going off on a tangent somewhere. I mean, I don't get why it needs to deal with this web searching because we've got the full API documentation. That should be more than enough for it to just go and work out what to do. I don't know whether they've got like JSON Open API specs and stuff. Integrations. Widget, no. Let's see, API sports. Open API. Does it have an API? Doesn't look like it does. No, okay, probably not. A little bit annoying, it doesn't, so it does just way more searching than it probably needs to. Yeah, because I don't actually quite understand what it's doing. Like, why is it looking at GitHub and all this kind of stuff? when it's literally all here. Oh, do they have like an SDK or something we can get? I wonder. Redocly open API. Yeah, I don't know whether it has that or not. Probably not. Okay. It's a bit annoying. Okay. I mean, why is it looking at stuff like this? This is where it gets a bit frustrating because it's just looking at a Golang package. What is going on? I'm gonna have to get it to stop. Right. You can only look at this API's documentation. This is the API we have access to. We do not have access to other APIs. Look at the endpoints on this API only. You can only look at this API. It's the one we have access to. Do not look at any other APIs. This API is the only one that has all the stats we need. Okay, hopefully it will sort itself out. Classic vibe coding, just going off on a random tangent. I feel like we had a problem the other day actually when we told it to look at this docs. Yeah, because it's done in Java, because it renders afterwards, because it renders via JavaScript. It's weird. It doesn't seem to have access to it. I wonder, there must be a better way. Let me go to the dashboard and have a look at what's going on. Was it API sports dashboard? Let me ask. No, you cannot do that. Why is it? With Redocly websites, is there a way to get like an open API spec or something based on a URL? APIs. I mean, the website is just trash. I mean, it just takes you to the same thing, doesn't it? So frustrating. Yeah, it's Redocly. Website API documentation. The problem is that Claude, it renders via JavaScript, and Claude can't seem to render the JavaScript to see the API specs. Maybe we can do that. No. I'm guessing it doesn't, which is so annoying. API sports Swagger open docs. Of course, it just gives you the same bloody crap. I feel like we did do this the other day. The other day we looked at this site and you were able to get access to it even with JavaScript rendering. Can you work out what we did differently the other day? Super frustrating, this. I wonder if there's a way to see. Yeah, because it basically should just give us API, open API spec. We should make this like a 2-second bloody job. But how to get open API spec from Redocly. That's really not helpful. Maybe it has that in the docs. Ooh. No, stop looking at other repositories and stuff. We can only look at api-football.com. Okay. Can we grab that then? Maybe it's actually in the sources. Maybe that's. Redoc. Open a new tab. See whether that's what we want. Okay, yeah. Why that was so difficult, I don't quite understand. Okay, let me move that to the project. So open API docs. Oh, no, don't need to do that. Right. I've added the Open API spec to the directory. You can use that, please. That's the only API docs we need. God, absolute pain in the ass. Just burning credits, killing the environment to try and read an API. I would have thought that Claude would have worked that out itself, to be honest, that it can just look at the Open API spec. I guess it was a bit of a pain for me to find it as well, but you would think it would know how to do that with Redocly. I'm actually surprised that Redocly doesn't have just a path to go fetch them. Maybe they do, but I just can't work it out. Looks like we're getting some traction on the stream. 100 views already, it's pretty cool. 10 concurrent viewers. Welcome to the channel, guys. Please do get involved in the chat, ask any questions. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Discord. So we're currently vibe coding the LLM prediction engine. just trying to get Claude to look at the API documentation of the API that we're using to work out what statistics it has access to and how often it needs to call them based on this recommended calls text. And then we can basically work out which ones we need to fetch, update all the API calls to grab all these, and then that will give us more data for our stream. Features, yes. Okay. So currently in a planning phase. So basically what this should do is it's a Claude skill, and it should come up with a features document with a plan basically of how it should tackle the feature. We can then read that and work out what it's going to be doing. And the way this works is I've got some local Claude skills stuff here that gives it some context, and then we've got a higher level Claude skill that's a global planning one to kind of write to a certain folder and do certain things. Trying out this workflow, so we'll see how it all goes. Anyone else doing any vibe coding or building of stuff at the moment, let me know. Always keen to hear what other people are doing and what other people are building. And yeah, let me know how the stream is. As I say, currently using something called Restream. Currently using just a free version, so we'll see how it goes. And dual streaming to Twitch as well. I think that's just a Twitch bot that's watching, so no one on Twitch so far. Okay, so that migration failed. Why did it fail? SQL string contains more than one statement. Okay, it's good that Claude did that. Obviously broken it. Okay, so you can obviously only do one. Well, it's done multiple things there. Which migration did it actually fail on, does it say? Too many statements. Too many statements. Okay, so it doesn't actually say. Always helpful to get terrible error messages. So we've got 9 rows. Okay, so obviously failed on the new one, this one here. So we'll get Claude to fix that as well in a second. The plan is ready for review. Okay, so while we're doing that, we'll get Claude to fix that error. So what is it? It's drizzle. So drizzle is just our migration library, basically. No, I said 9. 1, 2, 3, 9. Fix the error, please. Okay, so while that version of Claude is fixing stuff for us, let's have a look at the plan that it's come up with. So prediction engine currently receives a narrow slice of the data available from the API. Yeah. So standings, head-to-heads, and that's it. The API offers far richer data. Yes, it does. The API's own algorithmic predictions, injury, blah, 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 blah. This plan categorizes every API v3 football endpoint by its usefulness for our prediction system, recommends which data to store in our database versus pass through to LLMs at prediction time, and lays out the implementation to enrich the statistics contract that. Okay. Below is every endpoint from the OpenAPI YAML grouped into tiers by value for match prediction. Okay, so I don't want predictions because then it's kind of cheating if they all use those predictions. So we'll get it to remove those. And we'll actually have that as a separate competitor, perhaps. So we'll work out how we can add that as a separate competitor as well, because the models are currently not set up for that. So you got injuries, you got statistics, which is good. Moderate value, stats, expected goals, goal prevented, lineups, events, players. Yeah, so I guess if we're doing that, then we need to have some way to run the bets, well, the predictions in that time frame. So that's something we'll actually need to do as well. Because otherwise we'll be running it and we won't have access to the lineups and stuff. Okay, so already got odds, top scorers, league level aggregates, right. Player metadata, not much useful. Niche, low level. Yeah, transfers, trophies, sideline, venues, time zones, leagues, teams, odds. Okay. So is there any other stats on there that seem useful? So it's saying that players is not particularly useful. Am I reading that correctly? So predictions, which we're going to get rid of injuries, teams, statistics, fixtures, lineups, events, players, player stats per minute, position, 10 to 20 players. So passing in the fixture ID. So what was that endpoint? Because I don't know whether that's for the current fixture or other ones. So players. It's not even an endpoint, is it? Oh, it's fixtures, players, right, sorry. So what are we fixtures? Player statistics, was that the one we're looking at? Okay, yeah, players. Updated every minute. One call every minute for fixtures in progress. Otherwise, one call per day. Okay, yes, we're not going to be doing in progress betting yet. So I think we're better off calling player statistics. Okay, so we'll get it to update those things because they are not correct. So predictions endpoint is not something we're going to use for our prediction engine. That will be something we have as a separate competitor, so please remove that. For the fixtures players endpoint as well, that's in play statistics. We actually need player statistics before the game. So use the players endpoint to grab statistics before the game. We're not going to be doing any in play betting or anything like that. It's just a prediction before the match, basically. Okay, so we'll see what comes up with there, because definitely needs to fix that plan. Otherwise, we're going to end up with some terrible data. Okay, so apparently that's fixed the migration. So if I run, what is it? Run db migrate. I don't get, sometimes Warp just has this weird thing where you can't type commands in. Okay, so that works. Okay, please commit and push that change. For some reason you need to have a statement breakpoint, apparently. Seems a bit of a crap design, but it's the way it is. So yeah, do get involved in the chat, guys. Of course, don't forget to subscribe. How we're looking in terms of the stream on YouTube. 13 viewers, guys. Awesome. So yeah, get involved in the chat, guys. Say hello. Ask any questions. More than happy to interact. So yeah, just currently trying to get Claude to come up with a plan to pick the correct statistics and data from the API to help the LLMs make predictions. It came up with some bad planning, basically, of like using in-game stats and stuff, which is not useful because we're not doing in-game betting yet. That's probably a very advanced feature, as we'll have to have some real monitoring and performance stuff with that as well, which we don't really want to do. It's more just predict results before the match, and then we'll see what's going on based on that. But maybe in the future, if this goes well, maybe we can have in-game stats as well. Maybe we can do various prop bets like yellow cards and all that kind of stuff. I don't know whether you can get all that stuff on. Yeah, it can do prop bets as well. So maybe we can predict the league winners and all this kind of stuff as well. But definitely future things. Just need to get the basic things working for now. Okay, so it's just trying to understand what the player's endpoint gives us, so we can get rid of the predictions thing, the in-game stuff. Yeah, again, actually, all of these are in-game, so we need to get rid of all of those. We're also going to get rid of the predictions because, yeah, that's just going to be a separate competitor that will display on the dashboard. So yeah, we do have a dashboard for this. It's not currently deployed anywhere. When we actually start making real bets and stuff, we will deploy this so that everyone can see it. I'm also going to have some Discord bots and stuff, so we can have notification when we place a bet. We can also have, well, one thing I would like to do as well is to have the ability for the Discord community to essentially, as a community, make a decision on the bets. So we can have a poll, and then based on that poll, we can also make a bet, so we can compete against the LLMs as a community and see whether we're better or worse than the LLMs. Okay, so injuries, yeah, that makes sense. Team statistics, yes, that makes sense. Players, yes, that makes sense. Moderate value fixtures per match shots from finished fixtures, yes. Lineups, formation, starting players, okay, yeah, that's fine. VR decision timestamps from matches post-match could derive features like, okay, yeah, that's potentially, I think we probably actually drop that one for now. It's probably not that useful and probably a bit too complicated. So we'll drop that one. 2-hour engines, yeah. Low value, not relevant. So we've already got those ones. So odds, we're getting polymarket odds. Don't know, don't care about that. Okay, so the approach is going to do what to add the enrichment calls for each fixture at prediction time. Add these API calls on top of the two existing ones. The injuries, the stats, etc. One call per fixture. Yeah. 2 calls per fixture. Okay, so I guess one per team. 4 to 8 calls per fixture. With 2 to 5 fixtures per prediction run. That's 65 pay plans, comfortable. Okay, yeah, so that should be fine. What to store versus pass through. Okay, yeah, these are seasonal level aggregates. Change most twice daily. Cache them per team. Season run with staleness check. Avoids refactoring. Yeah. Refetching. Player stats. Yeah. Injuries. Yes. Everything currently passed. Injuries. Team stats. Clean sheets. Failed to score. Etc. Etc. Player stats. Yeah. Okay, so trade-offs decision. Include statistics. Yeah. Include players. Yeah. Cache team, players, stats in DB, yes now. New cache table, yeah. Summarize player stats passing to the LLM. Yeah, that's probably fine. Skip fixture Statistics aggregation, yes, prefer to phase 2. Fetch last 5 fixtures and compute rolling averages. 10 extra calls per fixture is expensive. The team season stats from that already captures overall performance trends. Skip that one. Okay. Okay, so what's it going to do? It's going to extend the stats table with some of the fields. That's cool. It's going to do player stats. I assume that's a new table. API. The mapper, API statistics, top player stats, schema, team stats, player stats, cache. Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, cool. So that seems reasonably sensible. What we'll actually do is we'll get Claude to have a look at that plan, the other session, and give it a little once over. Yes. Please review this plan and highlight any points that are incorrect, architectural decisions that are wrong, potential implementation issues, etc. So give it a thorough once over, reading it all in great detail and every single line, and come up with some suggested changes or potential issues. So yeah, it's a bit meta getting like Claude to look at its own stuff basically, but from what I've seen, it seems to be a fairly standard way of doing things, and that's just broken everything. Wonderful. One test failed, returns error when competitor already exists. Okay, it's a good sign that it's actually running its own code and running the test as it's meant to. Classic ignoring the instructions. Okay, we currently have a failing test. Can you please fix that before we move on? So yeah, like one of the rules I think I'm pretty sure I've got somewhere is that it needs to run the tests prior to pushing and stuff, but it just doesn't seem to do that. Maybe we should create a new skill that is like commit, and that has to run all the changes and stuff. But like implementation should run all these things. Let's add like a you must run all tests and linting, etc. before resolving. So we'll see whether that makes a difference or not in the future. So yeah, they're very hit and miss as to whether they actually read or follow the instructions. Because they are just like prediction engines based on the token. I have read stuff that says basically any rules you have at the start of a file will basically have way less chance of actually being respected versus a rule that you have at the bottom of the file. Same for the prompt sort of thing, which is pretty annoying. If that's the way it is. Hey, Point Dext, welcome. Hello, Coach Dev as well. What is the dictation software? Any better than Apple dictation built in? So the dictation software is a tool we built on Stream. It's called Talkie Texty. I'll send you a link to it. Media.com. Some self-promo of my website that Gemini built. So it's a speech-to-text application. Where is the chat? I want to use this chat, don't I? It's a speech-to-text application that uses local models. So currently I use NVIDIA's Parakeet model. Seems to be working pretty well. Quite happy with it, to be honest. It was more like a, hey, let's build something on stream to get going sort of thing, rather than kind of being a particularly awesome product or a product that I particularly want to sell or anything like that. It was quite easy to build, to be frank. Ultimately, all the difficult stuff is done in the model level. We just, passing in some input to the model and getting back the results, really. So you can go ahead and, if you want to, you can clone this repo. You can build it on your own machine. Currently, it only works on Mac OS, as we know. Linux, there is a PR from someone. I don't know whether Kai's in the stream today, but if he is, then you can get Gemini to fix it, and we'll merge that MR for Linux. And I've got no idea if it works on Windows or not. So if you're on Windows, give it a go and let us know. You can come up with a request, pull request if it doesn't work. Okay, so apparently it's fixed the tests. Okay, please commit the test change. And apparently it's reviewed the plan. Master estimate. Overall, the plans were researched and the approach is sound. Caching, blah, 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 blah. Several correctness issues. Type name. Team stats. Okay, please update the plan to include all of the suggested changes and notes, etc., so that the plan is fully up to date. Yes, you can do that. So yeah, in terms of the speech text application, there's tons of them out there. It seems to be one of the things that people build like first if they start vibe coding and live streaming and stuff. This was the application that I took took inspiration from. We basically copied a lot of it, to be honest, called Super Whisper. So happy to give them a shout out. You can get a free version of it. It is very good, from what I've seen. They have some like custom model or custom logic and stuff upon the model. So they also use Parakeet as one of the options, but it is quicker to transcribe them than my one, because they've obviously got some people that work on it. But it is interesting. Like, obviously, this is a company that must have a lot of money if they can pay engineers, $250,000. And we were able to build basically their entire product to, I'd say, like 80% of the standard in like 3 days on stream. So not bad at all. Also kind of cheating when you've got one you can look at in some regard, but the fact that you can do that kind of stuff with vibe coding is pretty impressive. Okay, so that's updating the plan. Okay, so this one, this one is going to, hold on. I said update the plan. I did not say start implementing any changes. So yeah, again, classic thing we've seen with the LLMs is, unless you explicitly say do not start implementing changes, it'll just like keep going and just go in its own little loop and start doing whatever it thinks it needs to do, which is really annoying. And it's one of the things that we're trying to solve with this kind of workflow thing. Probably currently in the wrong skill. That's probably why we're still running into this problem. So it's probably going to fix that stuff, delete those changes, and just give us the plan. That needs to be committed. Invitation. It's also annoying. It doesn't seem to commit the. Okay, so there's skills. Actually, we don't need those. That's fine. Okay, sorry. I was thinking about something else there. Right. So it should update the plan now, and then we can get the other session to actually implement it. Is it free? Yep, the speech app is free. my one is free. I think Super Whisper has a free version as well. So the GitHub repo here, it's MIT, so you can basically do whatever you want with it. You can clone it, steal it, use it yourself, do whatever you want. But yeah, how does it compare to Apple's local dictation? I've never used Apple's local dictation, so I can't say. My guess is it's probably better because it's using like state-of-the-art models. But I can't say really. Give it a go. Like, as I say, clone the repo, build it, run it, compare it against Apple, and see which one's better. Okay, so that's done now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is clear. We're going to do global implementation and stats enrichment is the feature. Please read the plan in great depth and detail and then start the implementation. Okay, so that's going ahead, and I'm just going to go ahead and like commit all of these things, these skills here. Add Claude skills initial prompts. Okay, so that's one thing we've got there. This should probably move that to like documentation or something, really, shouldn't I? But because it's not our open API spec, so it might get a bit confused as to what that is. I don't know if there's anything in the plan about that, so we might need to update any paths. Docs, API football, open API, cool. Okay, so that's chugging away. Okay, hopefully we fixed the migration issue. We'll see. Don't know whether that got pushed or not, actually. I think it should have done. And oh, it was the test that failed, wasn't it? Yeah, so that should get fixed now. We didn't look at the test, but we just assumed that Claude fixed it correctly. Awesome. So yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. As I say, do get involved in the chat. Happy to chat to you all, interact, and explain anything if it's not clear. Let me know. And of course, do subscribe to the channel and do join the Discord, as there'll be some cool things coming in the future in Discord. One of them being, I want to add the ability for the community to compete against the LLMs. And what I'll probably do is I'll probably fund a wallet that the community kind of uses, and then at the end of the season, or maybe after a few weeks or whatever, we can distribute the winnings to someone in the community, or the losses, depending on how good we do. So we'll see. So if that's of interest to you, as I say, do subscribe and join Discord. So we're currently just updating the stats for the predictions. So we're giving the LLMs access to more statistics. As currently they only have access to like the head-to-head and the fixture data itself. And once we have all those stats in the database, what we can do is we can add them to the UI as well, so we can kind of visualize a bit of the stats, and we'll add them to the bets as well, so that it's clear like how the prediction has been made and what data we actually have. Oh, I also need to add the like the summary, don't I, to the reasoning tab. So basically in the database here we have like predictions. Oh, that's the production, so there's nothing in that one. we have predictions here, and then like it has a reasoning thing, so it has like the weights and stuff that it's decided to use, and then it's got like a brief summary as to what it's actually done, like why it's made that decision, basically. And yeah, and so the way this is going to work is we basically have, let me see if I can find the files. So here in this, it's going to be an engine. We basically have like this prediction engine basically, and what it will do is it will take all the statistics and the weights that the LLMs come up with, and it will run it through a prediction. So basically, the LLMs come up with their own weights. Basically, I don't have an example of it, but it'll be kind of a data structure, and it will say like, you know, is the home team more likely to win or not, and the LLM will assign a value to how it thinks how important that stat is to making a prediction. So maybe it will say like the home stat is the most important stat, so it gives it a really high weight, and then maybe it will say like the I don't know, the number of games played per season or whatever is a really low important stat, so it will assign that a really low value, and then when it goes into the engine, those weights are what determine the actual bet itself. So that's the way that'll work. And then the way that we'll do it is after each game, we'll then pass the data from the matches, the results of the predictions, to the LLM again, along with its own weights, and it can then fine tune it and kind of keep iterating and hopefully improve its predictions. That's the theory. Whether it works in practice or not, we will see. Yeah, and all this code is totally vibe coded. I've not reviewed it at all. I don't endorse the code quality. In fact, it's terrible code quality. So, don't base my engineering skills off this. But again, part of the reason for these streams is to kind of see how far we can get with just vibe coding. I do kind of think it's one of those things where we will get quite far, and I think vibe coding is really good for like prototyping, for like non-technical people to get something going, and like try and get like market fit or traction with something, or just experiment with ideas and stuff. But if you actually want to build a full-on product and have users and all that kind of stuff, and actually care about it, you need some engineering skills from what I can see. But in other streams, we will be building full products that I do intend to launch as software engine, as software as a service products. So stay tuned for those as well, and we can see me building those on stream. And yeah, if you guys have got any ideas for products or tools and stuff that you'd like to see built, let me know. Happy to take the input from the community and build stuff that we want to see. Cool, yeah, so while this is going, another idea I did have, so there was an interesting article I saw, I think it was on Hacker News the other day, about the Iranian airstrikes and stuff that happened, well, the US bombing Iran. Apparently someone made some massive bets on Polymarket like a few hours before that in like an entirely new wallet. So obviously that was insider trading, someone that knew what was going to happen and made some bets and made a huge amount of money on Polymarket through insider trading. So I had the idea of like, can we build an application that would monitor Polymarket and the bets to see whether we can identify insider trading or potential kind of leads based on betting patterns and that kind of thing. So if that's on interest to you guys, then let me know, and we can also build that on stream, as I think that would be quite a cool little project to build and potentially get some kind of traction on Twitter and Twitch and stuff like that, if we can highlight insider trading and that kind of thing. So we'll see. Welcome, QWERTY. QWERTY is one of our OGs from the early streams, so welcome back. And yeah, thank you for the 100 subs. I think we're at 101 now, so that's awesome. And yeah, we seem to be getting more traction on stream, which is awesome. So yeah. Claude is currently working its way through updating the statistics that the LLMs will have access to, which is good. One thing it hasn't mentioned here actually at all is tests. So whether it's going to write any tests or not. Okay, so it is writing tests. Whether they're good tests or not is entirely different question, but it is writing tests, which is good. Will it run linting and stuff? We will see. Yeah, if there's also like any articles and stuff that you guys want me to look at, drop them in chat, drop them in Discord, and I can do that on stream, or I can make a video about it. Always keen to get ideas for creating content and stuff, and hopefully get the community involved in that as well. So yeah, I don't know whether. So one thing we saw in an early stream was it Hack My Claw? Did I have that open in Chrome? Did I? Hack My Claw, yeah. So this was one thing that was interesting on Hacker News the other day. So you might have heard of Claude Bot, the kind of rapid viral hit. So someone built this website, OpenClaw, built this website to see if you can hack OpenClaw via an email. So it's quite an interesting thing. It's now a $1,000 bounty. And basically the way this works is he's got an OpenClaw running and it reads your emails that you send it and has some secret files, well, secret data in its directory. And the goal is to get it to basically reveal its secret to you. No one has managed to do it yet via prompt injection. So it's an interesting little project. So yeah, you can basically send it an email and try and get it to reveal your secrets. Kind of a cool little tool that someone built. So just working its way through this feature. As I said the other day, like trying to build one product on stream today versus the normal two. Let me know how that's going, if it's clearer, or if you were happy with me building two on stream, or if it was too complex and kind of too much context switching. Let me know. So yeah, once we've got the statistics and stuff done, we should be able to see some of the data in the database and see what's actually going on. Make sure we've got that. Then we can just do a couple of UI fixes that I wanted to do. So one of them was, what was it? I need to write these things down because I do forget. So I think we've done that one, haven't we? We added the confidence to the bet rows, I think. Not that we have any bets yet, but the prediction rows. Yeah, we've got confidence there, which is good. What else did I want to do on the UI? Oh, I can't remember. Maybe it'll come back to me. So yeah, in terms of other stuff, so the deployment, yeah, still need to do that. I've added the models that I want to compete to production, or I'm about to add them actually. I need to create the production wallets and then fund it at some point. Obviously, I need to set up like a Twitter account and stuff so that we can, tweet when it makes a bet and all that kind of stuff. We do need to check the prompts and make sure that the prompting that we pass to create the weights is actually good. And we need to do the Discord integration as well. I also need to change like timings flow for fetching stats plus making bets. So we need to make sure that there is the ability for it to make the bet only once it can get access to the lineups, I guess. So that'll be like what I think the API said like 20 to 30 minutes before a match. So we'll need to look at when the timing of the matches is, kick off the task, and then do it that way. Rather than what it currently does is just like when you boot up the server, it just makes predictions and stuff. So we can fix that as well. Awesome. So it says complete. So in the implementation phase, it's done quite a lot of changes, which is good. Like I say, we're not going to be reviewing this code ourselves. We're going to be getting Claude to do their own review. But one thing we will do is we will run tests to see if they all pass, which they do. We'll run linting as well, which works perfectly, so that's good. Well done, Claude, there. Let me just clear the context of our review agent. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll get it to commit, and then, okay, please commit, but do not push these changes. Also, commit the plan, please. So we'll get the commit, and then we can get the review to do it against the commit. That way, it's just a bit easier for tracking what's going on. So yeah, do you guys do any vibe coding yourself? Let me know. I'm always keen to hear kind of what workflows and stuff other people use with Claude Code and the other tools. I've seen loads of stuff about people like, having like 15 agents doing stuff on a project and like all this stuff working, while they're asleep and all this kind of stuff. But I don't not believe them, but I do kind of feel like it's a bit of kind of hype that doesn't seem quite correct. Like, having done the prompting myself and seen what it produces, I'd be amazed if you could actually get it to produce a working application just while you're asleep, sort of thing. But maybe that's just me, and it's better than I think. So yes, we can do code review here. So we'll see what it does. I've not tried the simplify thing yet from Claude, which I think is their own like skill that does code review and all that kind of stuff. So maybe we'll run that next to see whether it does anything interesting. We will see. I also saw something about them, like for Claude CLI, them releasing some kind of voice thing as well. I saw that on Twitter to certain people, so maybe it will have kind of native text to speech ability on Claude Code. I have seen loads of people saying like it's amazing how much the Claude Code team ships and all the features and stuff, but I was kind of thinking about it the other day, and when you're like a company that's worth like probably way more than $100 billion now, and you've got a full team building a CLI, it's kind of not surprising that they can build a feature like text, speech to text. The fact that I built a full app in like a day is I would expect them to be shipping a lot given what they're paying engineers and how many engineers they have, and what is just a very simple CLI that basically interacts with the API. So yeah, I still feel like there's so much hype around all this stuff that I'm not sure I'm fully on board with all the hype yet. So I've been impressed with a lot of things, but a lot of things have also been like, what the hell is it doing? So again, keen to hear what people have had experience-wise themselves. You've done any vibe coding? Like, what are your thoughts on it? Do you think it's the way forward? Did you get good results? Do you get bad results? Let me know. As I say, when we were building the website, so where is it? So we vibe coded this website on stream as well. And we were using anti-gravity. I mean, it looks pretty crap to us. I need to redo it because it bugs and doesn't look that great. But we're using anti-gravity and Gemini, which is Google's model. And like, it was failing to do stuff like changing the icon and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. Like I'm never quite sure what to make of it all, really. Yeah, and we also tried open code as well with various other models. And again, like, so one of the models that I keep hearing recommended is Queen. But we tried Queen and it literally just got stuck in its own loop saying, oh, I can't do this command. Let me try a different command. And it would run the same command again and then go, oh, I'm stuck. No, sorry, oh, I can't do that command. Let me run a command again. And it would just keep doing that the whole time. And it was just burning my open router credits. So wasn't too impressed with that. With Kimi, K2, I think it was, we seem to get reasonably good results. Same with Minimax. So these are all on Open Router, if you're not familiar with them. So Minimax is one of the models we seem to get reasonable results with. I've not tried DeepSeek yet. Kimi K25 seemed to give us good results. So don't know if they've got like a programming section. They do. Okay, so apparently, according to this, is Minimax 2.5 is the best one. For programming, it was reasonably good. It's still nowhere near as good as Claude Opus from what we've seen, but the cost of Claude Opus was just prohibitive with the API keys. Okay, so it's done a review now. Approve with changes. Implementation solid, path follows faithfully, laying is correct, graceful degradation. Must do. I mean, it's weird that it says approve. Okay, it's approve with changes, right? Yeah. Okay, so we'll go and get this one to do the fixes. Please look at the review markdown file and then make all the relevant changes that are required. So basically, it should look at the review file that the review bot has spat out. It spat it out in the wrong place, which is super annoying. Is that skill here? It is. Why is it spat it out in docs? It needs to be in features. Features. That's fine. We'll move it once. Once it's made the changes and stuff. And then we'll try simplify and see what that can do. I wonder, how's our usage looking today? Okay, so we're in a new session. Cool. So we should be fine for that. So yeah, welcome to the streams, guys. Do get involved in the chat. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join the Discord. Happy to answer any questions and interact with everyone. Don't think we're getting any traction on Twitch, but it's day one on Twitch. I don't even know what like section I'm in and all that kind of stuff, so we'll see. But Restream seems to be working pretty well. Hopefully the quality of the stream is pretty good. Not had any complaints yet, and it seems to be good on YouTube, stream health, so that's good. Hey, Canny, what are we building? So we are building an application that is going to allow us to hopefully make money. So the idea behind this is that we get the LLMs, so like Claude and the other models, to take in some statistics around sporting events and then come up with its own prediction weights. And then we're going to basically make predictions on the sporting events. And then we're going to make some bets on Polymarket based on those predictions and see which LLM can make the most money based on its predictions. So like, can the LLMs predict the future via sporting events? And then maybe if we start, if it starts working, we can add in other categories and other markets. And the LLMs can hopefully start to improve themselves so they can get the results, fine-tune their weights and all that kind of stuff. So that's the plan. Going to have a UI as well. It's all going to be public, so you'll be able to see all the data, all the statistics, all the bets, and everything. And also planning to add into Discord. So if you're new, please do join Discord. The ability for the community to make their own bets as well. So we'll have a community wallet that I'll put some money in, and the community can compete against the LLMs. And if we make any money in the community wallet, I'll raffle it off to someone in the community, and they can have that money. So it's still making a few changes. And yeah, we're not looking at any of the code or like doing actual proper reviews. We're fully vibe mode. So just shipping at inference speed and not asking questions, basically. So we'll see how that goes. Awesome. So yeah, we're just putting one product on stream today. In the previous ones, we've always done one or two. But I thought I'd try this to see whether it's clearer for you guys. I guess the downside is there's more downtime while we're waiting for Claude to do its thing. But we'll see. So yeah, if there's, as I say, if there's any articles, all that kind of stuff you want me to look at, drop it in the chat and we can talk about it. Bum, bum, bum. So did I run the migrations? I didn't run the migrations, did I? So we can do that on production. And that should just give us the latest models in the database as competitors. Again, I still need to deploy it. I haven't done that yet. I don't think it's going to work, to be honest. I've not run this workflow yet. Is there even a workflow for info preview? I don't think there is. I don't think I've got the access token in there, so that's probably why it's not even. It has to be in production. Okay, fair enough. Don't think there's any point in running deploy at the moment because I don't think I've got stuff set up. So what do we need? So we should have GitHub token. Yeah, I don't have any of this stuff in the secrets yet, so that won't work. Probably something I'll do off stream just because otherwise I'll end up revealing all the keys again. So it's not too interesting that anyway, so I'll do it off stream and then we'll come up with a deployment. And yeah, if anyone's got any ideas to name this product, let me know. It's currently just called LLM betting, which is a bit crap, I think. So I'll buy a custom domain name as well. So please do come up with an idea. Let me know. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, where are you guys based? I'd be keen to know where you're all viewing the stream from. I know we've got someone said they're from India, I think. I think we've got someone from the UK as well. But yeah, keen to hear where you guys are from. I'm currently in Japan at the moment, so the time zone is a bit weird, but normally from the UK. Okay, so it's just making those final changes. It's quite a lot of changes it's made, actually. what was meant to be a minor review. It's done quite a lot. So what we'll do is we'll commit this and then we'll run simplify, which is the Git, the Claude code review refactor skill, and we'll see whether that gets any better results. Awesome. So we've got India, we've got Pakistan, we've got UK, all around the world, which is really cool. Yeah, welcome to the streams. Okay, so it's completed all of those. Awesome. Let's check whether it's actually run the linting. Has it run the testing? Okay, cool. I'll go ahead and get that to commit that. Go ahead and commit those changes, please. And then what we'll do is we'll get the simplify to run, and we'll see what that can produce, if anything. Because yeah, it's the Claude's built-in one, so it'll be interesting to see whether that gives us better results or not. I'm kind of struggling to see how it will be able to get great results, because unless it's got like some crazy context or something, I can't imagine it's going to have access to kind of best practices and all that kind of stuff, but maybe they've got some secret stuff going on behind the scenes. So let's see what Simplify does. As I say, it's the Claude's custom one. So let's see. Oh, I mean, it's just looking at the markdown changes. Okay, I mean, if that's what it looks at, then that's terrible, but we'll see. We'll see what it produces. Hopefully it can do something good. Okay, so while that's chugging along, what did I want to do? Yeah, I think it's just literally just looking at the markdown files, which is crazy. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Okay, let me commit these then. Cool. Maybe we need to give it the commits. Maybe that will get some better results. Let's see. So yeah, what did I actually write in to do? Did I write something that I actually need to do? Yeah, we'll need to do that at some point. Okay. Let me just check the migration on production. Did that run correctly? Oh, that's the wrong one, isn't it? This one. Okay, so the migration ran on production, which is good. So on prod, we should have the correct models in the competitors. We do. Awesome. So they should be the latest models, which we can use to come up with the predictions. Locally, what I'll do is maybe just clear out the data. I should really just get Claude to write me a script to do this, actually. They can go as well. We'll leave the wallets because that's fine. Right. So locally, we'll just, it's not npm, we're using bun, aren't we? Oh, it's gonna, all right, bun db migrate. Okay, so we should have the latest competitors. No. Oh, have I broken it? Have I? Okay, let me just delete that. Local db. db, delete that please. db migrate, should get a new database, good. Okay, so that's better. I need to hydrate the wallets locally. They've got no money, so if you get the private keys, you can't do anything with them. Import. Barn. Okay, so that should add the wallet stuff. Oh, because they're all different names, aren't they? Bollocks. List create. Okay. What we're doing, we're creating a wallet for Claude Opus 4.6. Creating a wallet for. I say these all these wallets are just local wallets. They're never going to have any money in them. So if there's any credentials leaked, it's not end of the world. These are just to basically test that I can make calls to Polymarket, and we basically should get that. Basically, like we have no money in the wallets when we actually run the application. Oh, bloody hell! Right. So on my dev servers, let me run the API. Me run the UI. We can then go to the website locally. Okay, so what we should see is we should start to get the markets and stuff up here. So yeah, it's loaded in the latest markets. We should actually also get it to link to the markets on Polymarket, would be useful. Same for the fixtures and stuff. We should get that to kind of link up. Let me write that as a to-do as well. Add links to Polymarket market / fixtures, because that would be useful. Cool. So yeah, do get involved in the chat, guys. Ask any questions. If anything's not clear, and let me know. Okay, so predictions says it's run. We obviously had no data. So that's something I need to fix, is like the way that that's all working, and the kind of race condition that occurs there. So basically what we should do is like once a day, fetch the fixtures, the new markets, and then based on the time of the fixture, we should run the fetching of the fixture specific statistics, and then make the predictions. So we've got no predictions there. I wonder why. Oh, have I got like config? Try run is false. So in classic vibe coding style, it's not actually worked. Starting prediction run, found no scheduled fixtures. Okay, so fetching of the fixtures is not working, which is interesting. That's discovery, prediction pipeline, settlement order. That's the prediction pipeline, discovery pipeline. Okay, so that should it's the discovery pipeline that should be fetching the fixtures and stuff. I don't know when it runs it. That's the only thing. Oh, this code is terrible. Okay, so there is a discovery delay milliseconds, which will be in config somewhere. Okay, it's just an empty. Run immediately. Okay, so if it's... Okay, well, it's always going to be nothing, isn't it? Okay. So it should just run discovery, basically, and have found the data. Let's see what the logs say. I mean, it says it's run it. Discovering football matches, querying. Settlement run. Okay, we'll get Claude to debug this then, I guess, because I've not got much context of the code. Oh, yes, of course you can do this. We'll just run the application, and the fixtures are not populating in the database. Can we come up with a plan to fix that, please? See what it comes up with. Because yeah, what it should do here is discover all the fixtures that are going to be played via the API. It should then like match them to the markets, and then we can basically work out what market matches what fixture. Because yeah, so currently the API that we're using to get data is, you know, if you fetch the fixtures from here, but obviously it's either not configured correctly or something is not wired up quite right. Because yeah, so it should have like a get fixtures, yeah. Fixture params, maybe it's passed in the wrong params or something. So what it's going to be like, no. Start up TypeScript. It's this one. So the league ID, the config season. I don't know where it gets league ID from, config.leagues. Is that set in our config file? Default leagues, Premier League, okay, yeah. 2025, 7 days. Oh, it might be because there's no games in the next week, is that right? Because it's what? Champions League and FA Cup, is it? Oh, no, there's games today, so it should definitely be finding them. Okay, let's see what it's doing. Yes, of course you have access to this. Stop asking stupid stuff. Let me investigate the discovery pipeline and fix persistence flow. Well, it's probably not persistence that's the issue. I think it's the fixtures that's the issue. I mean, that says, yeah, fixtures persisted. Oh, it didn't match the events. That's probably why. Looking at the logs, it looks like it didn't match the events correctly. Just pass that. Okay, so how's Simplify going? I mean, it's crazy that Simplify is still running and it's not made any suggestions or changes yet. Okay. 10 mono pocket events found. 0 fixtures fetch mode. Let me dig into that. Can you share the full discovery output? Specify the lines around discovery fixtures fetched. Sure, I can do that, Claude. Why not? Give you all of this. Oh, what the hell happened there? Okay. Yeah, still not inserted them. I was wondering whether maybe it ran afterwards and did it, but no. So yeah, obviously there's something that's broken in the logic to match the fixtures to the markets, I think. We'll see what it comes up with. Yeah, I mean, to be fair to Simplify, that looks way cleaner. Not read too much, but so what is it actually doing? Taking a promise and a label. Okay, so it's just tidying up the returning of the errors, basically. Const nil equals, I mean, that is, what? I'm surprised you can even do that. That can't be correct, code, because surely if it's called nil, I mean, that's a key word. You can't. Oh no, maybe it's not in JavaScript. No, is it a keyword in JavaScript? It's been a while since I've written any JavaScript, so no, it's not. Okay, crazy. Okay, yes, I mean, the Simplify actually seems to be doing some reasonable changes, actually. Maybe we'll try and get it to run on the full project. Removed unused minutes, internals, arrays, and Zod imports. Replaced object entries plus as cast, pattern, explicit type, object literals. In prediction, claps 4 repetitive if-else blocks. Unpacking promise dot set all settled results into a single inline unpack function. Which was here. Which does look cleaner. Whether it actually works or not. Oh no, sorry, that's not here. That's in the pipeline, isn't it? So here. Just created this unpack function, which takes the result and the label, and it returns the interface. Cool. Whether it actually works or not, I don't know. We'll have to see. Yes, you have access to that. Stop asking. Oh, maybe that's it, because I did change the API key. So locally, it's not the production API key. Maybe that's it. How it's going to work if it's using historical data locally for predictions, I don't know, but I guess we can see what it does. I can probably give it access to the production API key for, well, not production API, but the like live API key for the sports API. Because I think we've got, I don't know how much you get per the dashboard. Why do I have to sign in every time? I think it was that one. I don't know how much you get per subscription. think it was like 1,000 calls or something. 7,500 a day. Okay. So that's more than enough then. So maybe I'll just give it access to the production key. This is the one that I have access to. Yeah, okay. So we'll see how it gets on locally with historic data. Discovery pipeline fetches 10 polymarket events successfully, returns 0 fixtures from the API football. API call succeeds, but returns an empty array. Root causes config season hardcode 205. Test pipeline script already documents free tier. Yeah. Use the API football auto detect the current seasons list. Okay. Update. Okay, so it's going to fetch. I mean, this seems like way overcomplicated engineering, to be honest. But I guess I'll let it do it. So basically, what I understand that it's going to do is it's going to use the whatever API is to get the current season year, and then pass that in dynamically. And then if we set it in the config, it should overwrite that. It seems a bit weird. Like to be honest, we could just use the config value, and I can just update it. But it's gone ahead and started to implement this, so I guess we'll leave it to implement this, and I can just give it access to the API key, so it can query the real data. In fact, let me do that. Let me just edit credentials. I'll be 2 seconds. Try not to leak it this time. Although on their website you can basically see it even when it's blurred out, which is terrible. Okay, we're back. So yeah, I don't know, like on there you can kind of see what it is from the blurring. Hopefully the resolution is not good enough that you can see it, but if it is, don't steal my API key, please. Otherwise I'll have to reset it again. I think I've reset that API key like 15 times because I keep leaking it on screen. How are we doing? Down to 7 viewers, 235 views. That's pretty good. Seem to be getting more views, more people getting involved, which is great. Okay, so that's done its changes. Let's run this then. It's now got access to the production API key as well. So we'll see what happens. Okay, yes, now it's matched them as well, which is good. So what should happen now is, I don't know how long it's going to take because I can't remember what the config is. But it's essentially made, well, it's going to make its predictions in a second based on the markets. So we should start to see like player stats, team stats, cache get populated as well, which will be good. Okay, yep, so it's refreshing the odds. And then it's trying to make the bets. One thing that we need to fix actually is that it's doing those like fetching 3 odds and making 3 bets. It should do it one by one. Like it should do the whole thing and then make the next prediction. Otherwise we're going to run into like slippage and odds changing and that kind of stuff. So we need to fix that. But yeah, okay, so it's got the player stats, which is good. No team stats. I don't know why. Has it made any predictions? Okay, so we've got some predictions and we've got some bets as well. So what should happen now is if we go to the dashboard, we should see we've got failed bets, and they should have all failed because of no money. I don't think it'll actually say the fail reasons, so maybe we need to add we need to add failed as a filter there. But we should also add like the failure reason and stuff there. So let me add that to the to-do list. Add failed to bets filters. Add failed reason to bets fail. So that's one thing. A couple of things we need to do there, which will be good to get on there. Add those links as well, which will be good. So that goes through to the bet, and we see what's gone on there. Predictions. Whether we will see bets when they come through there, I don't know. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll get it to commit these changes. Oh, let me make a note of that thing I need to do as well. Should do fetch pred bet 1 by 1, not in batches. Oh, and yeah, well, yeah, I can do concurrent. I don't think we can do concurrent just because it's not going to work correctly, but we could try. Okay, so we've made some changes there. I think we go ahead and commit all these changes. Please go ahead and commit all changes. Let's get this project to be clean on the branch. So just commit everything, please. Okay. Yeah, and then so I guess we'll make those little UI changes. Then we'll do the fix for the, we'll get to see whether we actually need to do the fix for the bets 1 by 1. I think we do, because like if we look at the logs, so like it starts a prediction run, it refreshes odds like 3 times, and then it starts to do the bets. So the problem with that might be that by the time, like if this is a real call to polymarket, by the time that resolves and stuff, like the odds might have changed for the next market. So we should make sure that we do that 1 by 1 and like get the odds, make the prediction, make the bet, then go on to the next one basically. So we'll get it to work out the best approach for that. But let's get the UI fixes done because they should be fairly quick to do. So let's go back to planning. No, please. Not clear. Context, global planning. And we'll just write for those 3 things and we'll see how it does it. Awesome. So yeah, we've hit the 100 subscribers, which is great. That was our first goal. So we've hit that, on to 1,000 next. And then the other big goal is to start earning some money. So start getting some revenue coming in. Well, still going to be a few weeks probably until we do that, unless we go really crypto bro and start making coins and all that kind of crap. But don't really want to go down that path. More interested in building actual products. They may or may not be in the crypto space. Who knows? I'm not that involved in crypto. Don't know much about it really. I think I'd rather build products around content creation at the moment. So that's one of the products we're going to be building on stream as well. This prediction product is more of a interesting thing to build. hopefully get some people on the streams and on the channels, and maybe make some viral content around it if we can get, making money on the predictions and all that kind of stuff, and get people involved. It would be interesting. We could even, thinking about it, really, we could even make it, could potentially make it so you can come up with your own weights yourself, and then upload those to the product or to the platform, and then you could give us your own. Well, I guess you'd have to use. I don't know how it would work with a wallet, but give access to the product to use your wallet, sort of thing. And then you could auto bet based on your own weighting. Whether we could do that or not, I don't know, or whether it's even interesting enough to do, we will see. Or maybe we can just give you the ability to follow the LLMs bets or something. Lots of things we could do with it. We'll see how far we go with the product and where we get with it, really. Okay, so see recent bets. Okay, so we should be able to come up with this fairly quickly. I'm surprised it's actually taking so long to come up with planning for those 3 pretty minor things. It might be taking longer because maybe we don't store the failure reason, which is one thing. Oh, actually, one thing I did want to do. This is quite a big change, actually, but add an audit log of actions for bets, etc. So yeah, it would be very useful to see an audit log of just what it's done in terms of the actions for the betting and stuff, and for the updating of the competitor weights and stuff. Like, I think they're currently versions, so I think we would see that. So that one's not a problem, but it would be good to have an audit log, so you'd see like submitting the bet, then it's moved from pending to submitted, and then submitted to failed, etc. Just so that we can follow through if something does go wrong. Probably don't need it for the MVP, but we'll see. Yeah, if anyone else has got any ideas or things that we think we could add to the platform, add to the tool, let me know, and we can potentially add them. And yeah, as always, don't forget to subscribe and join the Discord. Got a new guy, Luke. Welcome. Can I give you a wave? Hey, welcome. So yep, trying to build a community, a positive community of people that want to build products and explore AI tools and products and content creation and all that kind of stuff. So go ahead and join. Slug field, that should be fairly easy to do. Failed filter tab, add failed to the status tab array. Server-side filtering already handles it. Failed reason, add error message and error category already exists in the DB. On every failed bet. Does it already? So these should all have failed. Oh, perfect. Okay. Yep, go ahead and implement all of those, please. Which is good. Cool. Oh, I've told you to go ahead and do it, mate. So yeah, once we've done that one, they should be fairly minor, quick changes for it to do. We'll look at adding, well, checking the logic for how that actually works. I think it is batched from what we can see, or doing it in some way. It's like in the scheduler, prediction, so run prediction, so checks if it's running, start, run. So what does that actually do? So it gets the fixtures, gets all the engines, which I assume are the competitors. Dot engines, dot values. Yeah. Processes each fixture in a loop. DB row to fixture, finds the fixtures. Okay, yeah. Refreshes the odds. If you get an error, moves on. Build market contexts. Does some mapping, gets the injuries. So yeah, I don't think that should happen in the prediction pipeline personally. I think we should be able to store and cache that and then just fetch it probably. Fetch stats, player stats, does all of those. Yeah, and so it runs all the engines. Then gets the bankroll. Where does the predictions come from? Engine results. Okay. Yeah, so this makes all the predictions themselves, and then we do like the bankroll checks. Adds the prediction to the database, does some validation of the stake and the amount of the bet, and then attempts to place the bets. But there's going to be like some lag between that, so I think we should probably try and do it one by one. Basically, I think that's a better approach, in my view. At least that's how I would build it. Well, I wouldn't build it like this anyway, but it's closer to how I'd build it if I was writing it myself. So yeah, I don't think with Restream you can see the stats, to be honest, which is not great. Oh, okay, so you can see 5 and 1. Okay, interesting. Which is cool. So yeah, just trying out Restream. Let me know the quality of the stream and stuff and how it's going. Seeing if we can get more of an audience by cross-streaming. Just currently doing some UI updates to the dashboard. Yeah, it's added that, but we should really have it as a cleaner UI because that doesn't look good. That should now link to the actual market itself, which is good. Oops, we didn't forecast this. It doesn't actually work correctly. So, yeah, okay, that's good. Maybe it's because the markets are actually EPL. So that's Aston Villa versus Chelsea. So we'll see if we can find that one and see what the URL is. Chelsea. Aston. Okay. So what was the URL it tried to go to? Of course, I can't find it now. Okay, so that's Everton. Let's go there for that game and see if we can find that one. Everton, there we go. So it's trying to go to events, whereas it should be sports, then EPL, and then... Okay, so it's just like entirely wrong. How it's done that, I don't quite understand. Okay, let's get it to fix that. The URLs are wrong. This is the correct URL. And this is the URL that you're producing. So obviously it's probably storing the slug wrong or something. Or the slugs are different from the UI to the API. Okay, so it has added that there. It's added the links. The links were broken, but probably can fix those fairly easily. We need to get it to do better on the UI reason failures. It's added the failed ones there, which is good. So that's that one we can check off. The other two we cannot. You're right. URL's pattern is blah blah blah, not blah blah blah. The market slug is different from the event slug, so we need the events series slug to check the story pipeline. Okay, maybe we don't even store that data. Yeah, I think we should store the reason as a separate thing. Well, ultimately, we should probably actually have like an enum field for the failure reasons, and that would be cleaner. So we'll get that as a feature as well. Make bet failure reasons and enum field. Probably keep raw so we can see if we get an unknown value. Coolio. Yes, go ahead. So yeah, anyone got any ideas for features and stuff? Let me know. Or products you want to see built on stream, tools you want to see built on stream, let me know. We can look at building them. How long have we done so far? So StreamNow's UI is a bit different when you're doing it through Restream. So just trying to work out all the stuff that's going on basically. Only an hour and a half so far, okay. Cool. I feel like my stomach's making lots of noises. It should be fairly quick to fix these things. Why it's taking so long, I do not know. So yeah, in terms of the video performance of that one, this seems to be doing okay. It was just a clip from the stream, nothing too great. Stream performance seems to be making some progress. Definitely think adding a thumbnail to the stream has made some improvements and got more traction to the stream, which is good. Don't want to do that one, do I? I want analytics. 254 views, yeah. So that's definitely an improvement I've made there. I made that thumbnail just via AI, so my face looks a little bit weird